Hi everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for April 2019. Before we begin with the actual reading, I just have a couple of quick announcements to make. One, if you have been requesting a personal reading with me, I did get back to all the emails that came through, but I know that some of you were saying that the email actually went to their spam or junk folder. So if you sent a message to me and you didn't hear back from me, definitely check your junk or spam folder. It probably just ended up there. I'm also just so grateful with the outpouring of support. I just wanted to thank you all so much. Your likes, shares, subscribes all mean the world to me. I love being able to share these messages, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for letting me do this for you, and thank you for your support. I do also have the astrological information that I provide at the beginning of each of these videos. I'm now writing that as blog posts and sharing that on my website. The link is in the description box down below if you're interested in that. I personally just like to have a sense of what is happening when. It's just a good way to reference as well. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. These are general readings, so obviously not all of the messages that are going to be coming through are going to be resonating for you. Some of these messages might actually be meant for other people in your life. They might not be meant for you at all. It could also just be, you just have to use your discernment. You just have to figure out what is in alignment for you and what you just need to leave behind. I am really interested to see how this reading is going to go because, as I said earlier, you do have two planets in your sign still. You still have Mercury and Venus. Mercury is coming out. And no, you have Neptune there as well. So, wow, there's a lot, there's a lot of action going on for your sign still. So with Mercury going direct, we are in this post-shadow phase until April 7th, and it's on that day, actually, that Mercury is going to conjunct with Neptune one last time. And being in your sign, there's just going to be a lot of intuitive breakthroughs, a lot of really strong, even psychic abilities coming forward. I feel like there's been a lot of spiritual downloads that have been happening over this Mercury retrograde, and this is going to kind of be the install phase. So you can expect a lot of things to just suddenly manifest. Things that were kind of on the back burner might just suddenly blow up in your face, and that could be in the best possible way. Don't take that negatively. It just, things might happen much quicker, but do still expect some delays before then. Do expect some miscommunications, especially when it's in a murky sign like Pisces. Things can get very confusing. They can get very delusional. So there is this tendency to miscommunicate or to get the wrong information and not even realize it until after. So there is going to kind of be this catch-up phase. So that's fun. With Venus in your sign, I think that there's a lot of emphasis on relationships right now, especially since this Aries season did start off with a Libra full moon, and there's actually going to be another Libra full moon on the 19th of April. So there's a lot of relationship energy coming and a lot of love is in the air sort of feeling. Mercury is moving into Aries on the 17th and Venus is on the 20th. So there is going to kind of be this need to bring all of the stuff that's been floating around, vacuously around you, into action. You might need to start making some quick decisions, or there might even be some new love or passion that's coming in as well. Just whatever has been brewing, I feel like it's really going to become obvious in April. I also, I want to mention that there are 3 outer planets that are going retrograde this month. We have Jupiter in Sagittarius going retrograde on the 11th. Pluto in Capricorn, I believe, on the 24th, and Saturn in Capricorn on the 30th. And with all of these backwards, with all of this inner reflection, all of this energy going inward, there is a big emphasis on trying to figure out what we're doing next, what our future is going to be looking like. So that's something to, a lot of you might already be beginning to think about the future. And what it is you really want to do in the long term, what it is you're really trying to achieve, and how you reach that achievement, how you realize your dreams, and just focusing a lot on what you've gained and what you've lost with that Pluto retrograde. It does feel like this karmic reset. it seems like one karmic cycle will be ending and a new one will be beginning. I know that's coming up for a lot of signs. That actually seem to be coming through pretty strongly for Scorpio, which I just did. Your fellow water sign, and you are trining. So I'm curious to see how this reading is going to go for you. As I was pulling cards to figure out which sign to do next, I did get you as the moon, and I have you as I have 6 of Cups in reverse for you as well. So again, this message might not apply to everyone, but it seems like some of you who are watching, you're really moving on from the past. You're really moving on from a period of confusion, of uncertainty. There might have been just a lot of doubt, a lot of illusion, perhaps even deception. It seems like you are moving on from that, especially if that was involving your family or someone from the distant past, or someone who just brought up issues from the distant past, someone who kind of triggered that in you, those old childhood wounds. It does seem like you are moving on from that, or at least you're trying to. It seems like whatever the Mercury retrograde, whatever was happening for you in Mercury retrograde, it was a lot about leaving the past behind. Whatever was coming up from the past was meant to be integrated and moved through. I do remember there was kind of a lot of family stuff happening. This, I believe, was upright for you last month. So it seems like now that you've healed, you're going on to the next thing. You're looking forward to the next thing, the next phase. And it might not be totally clear to you right now with this moon card. You're still trying to intuit. You're still trying to feel into what you're supposed to be doing next, what your deeper purpose is, trying to go in deep, which is very, very Piscean, I have to say. So I'm just going to start shuffling now. That was kind of just the pre-read. Again, not going to apply to everyone, maybe just a few of you. Some of you could also potentially be dealing with another Pisces, but I don't think that's particularly likely. I'm just going to be looking into the past energy coming into April. What is the past energy for Pisces coming into April? The cards are already coming out pretty quickly for you, so it seems like there's a lot of information coming forward. Great. Interesting. So with the moon card I was referencing earlier, there definitely does seem to be a lot of sneakiness. You have the 7 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the 5 of Swords. Some of you are definitely walking away from some situation, potentially involving an earth sign, or someone who's just really very overly materialistic, focused on the day-to-day. That could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, not necessarily. With the 7 of Swords, it feels like you had to kind of sneak away from this person, perhaps, or this person was being sneaky with you and deceptive with you. You might have found out about it, or you might be about, or you might just be about to find out about it. There is kind of some deception, especially if you are dealing with an earth sign who's close to you or near and dear to your heart. This person, this energy isn't, they're not being very supportive and nurturing like they usually are. Or maybe they just never have been that way, but it's something, this is very self-interest focused. Someone who's very short-minded right now. They're not looking at the bigger picture. This even could potentially be you if you have a lot of earth in your chart as well. With this 5 of Swords, again, there is kind of this walking away from someone. This feeling of defeat. There's almost like this ego battle that was happening. There was no winning. This situation is kind of what it feels like. And I'm almost getting the sense that it's you who's walking away. Although I don't feel like you're too sad about it, to be honest. It's almost like you kind of have this grin on your face that you got away, is almost the feeling I'm getting here. You're leaving something behind that was oppressive, that wasn't really allowing you to flow. So that actually does seem like a good thing. Some of you may have just had to let go of the past in this way too. You just kind of had to walk away. There wasn't really anything else you could do. You made the efforts, and I think you just kind of had to walk away. What is the animal wisdom for the past energy? Wow, these cards are really just coming out for you today. We have Crow. So, this card to me speaks of finding people who aren't going to shun you for who you are. They're going to really see you as magical and intuitive, and they're not going to shun you for your darkness. They're they're going to help you explore your magic, your depth. And that was a really important theme for last month. I think a lot of you are also very intuitive. Your intuition was very, very high. And you might still be having some of that coming into May as well. Some of you might also be getting messages from the other side. You might be getting mediumship experiences, especially if that is with an earth sign who passed away. That's a possibility as well. I do see that meditation is important, or would have been important for this time, so I hope that you're meditating now, just to kind of move past whatever you had to walk away from, because there was something that you needed to leave behind. Um, it, or there was just some sneakiness. And intuitively, you might have known there was some sort of deception here. Someone wasn't being totally forthcoming. They were being very guarded. And I think you just, at some point, had to be like, okay, I give up. I can't, I work with this person. I can't work with this situation. Um, so that's interesting. What is the first half of April looking like for Pisces? That's too many. Let's see, what does the first half of April look like for Pisces? There we go. So I have the Three of Wands, the Five of Wands in reverse, and the Six of Cups came out together with the Emperor in reverse. So I see, whatever it is that you walked away from, I see that you are looking forward to something new, the next adventure, whatever's coming your way. It seems like whatever it was you were working on, you're expecting some sort of result to come in. You're kind of waiting and seeing. You're looking out into the horizon at the start of April is what I'm really seeing most strongly. I see with this Five of Wands, I feel like this is more you walking away from a conflict. I don't feel like you're still stuck in this. I feel like you're kind of just healing from whatever this was. You might feel a bit beat up. You might have felt attacked or ganged up on. And that could also just be in the first part of April. You might feel like there's a lot of pressure on you. You might be shamed for walking away or for trying to move on to something new. But I feel like there is actually some healing that's going to be occurring with this Six of Cups and with this Emperor in reverse. This could potentially even be with an Aries, especially if it's from your past. It could also be with a father figure or someone very paternal to you. I see there's a potential to make amends with this person. There could also be, someone, whoever this was, this person was very controlling to you in the past. This person was very potentially abusive in some way. I have to say, whenever this Emperor card comes up in reverse, that is a potential there. And they may be coming to try and apologize, and it feels like you still have that memory, you still have that trauma of whatever it was, or however they treated you, that's still very strong on your heart. You may also just be working by yourself to try and heal this. This person might not be coming forward at all. This could just be you mentally doing this therapy or something like that. Just thinking about that, trying to find closure on this. It's interesting that the Six of Cups came up upright this time. It seems like there's a lot of going forward, then this thing that comes up that needs to heal, and it gives you pause, and then you heal it, and then you go forward again. That kind of seems to be a theme throughout March and April for you Pisces. There's a lot of stopping and starting. But it's good because this healing needs to happen. It needs to happen for this good thing to come in. You can feel it. You feel the next chapter coming in. You feel something very positive coming in. Perhaps you're even feeling this fire sign coming in, and maybe you are going to be making amends. But it seems like there is definitely some healing that would need to take place there for that to occur. What is the animal wisdom for the first half of April? We have fish, this is you, and we have turtle. So again, this is really speaking a lot about your past, your home, your upbringing. This is a very Cancerian card to me. And with Pisces, it does feel like there might be some moving. You might actually be moving away from a home, is something that's actually coming up pretty strongly with all of these cards. You might actually be going forward and leaving a place behind. Some of you might even be kind of in a transitional space. You might not even be in the final space. You're just kind of in the in-between right now. However that applies, you're definitely moving towards something, and it may not be clear. It seems like you are figuring out how to carry this past with you. You're finding your sense of home in yourself is something that seems to be coming through with turtle. And with this fish card, it seems like you might be lacking a little bit of direction. To be totally honest, I think there's a need to find direction. It might even just be something as small as making a little checklist for yourself each day, just to make sure you're doing the things that you need to be doing. I think that would actually be pretty helpful for you, especially in the first week of April. There's going to be a lot of flopping around, it feels like. But I do see that you are ultimately looking forward. It feels good. It feels like you're healing in a very healthy, beneficial way. Like you're doing it right. That's something I have to say. And there is a lot of wands. There is a lot of, conflict that you are overcoming. I don't see you engaging in it that much, to be honest. I see that you're kind of just above and beyond it at this point. You're like, whatever. Like if there's some sort of conflict, you're just like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Like this isn't worth it to me. So that's really interesting. Good for you if that resonates. Even if it's hard, even if you're just trying to do that, it's still good. I feel like you're doing really well with all of these changes. Because there is some big changes that happens on your solar return or around your solar return. There's a lot of shifts, a lot of resetting that happens, and that's going to kind of be happening throughout this month as well with all of the stuff in the planets and the stars. That's too many. What does the second half of April look like for Pisces? Again, I've said this in some of the other videos. This could also bleed out into May or even beyond. This time is more relative and subjective than a set time limit. So take that with a grain of salt. This is just kind of the future energy coming in for you at this time. What does the future hold for Pisces? There we go. Okay. We're going to have to take a closer look here. We have the moon in reverse, the devil in reverse, and the tower and 5 of cups came up together. So there's a lot of big energy coming your way at the end of April. And I think you already are kind of feeling that right now because your intuition is so high. You are feeling that there's this big change, this big transformation that's happening, I see that it's going to become clearer towards the end of April. The veil is going to kind of thin. This mystery is going to emerge from this murkiness. I do see that you are still healing. You're going to be healing nicely, however. With this devil in reverse, I do see that you are overcoming some inner demons, or you may still be, you may just be at the very tail end of this. You may still be struggling. This could also be a Capricorn from the past coming back, or just a Capricorn coming back into your life, who was once very close to you. But I feel like, so much of this is you. It feels like there was someone who was trying to control you. And it feels like you're moving beyond that. You're moving beyond this person who had a lot of influence over you. And, it is kind of, I do feel like with this Tower and this Five of Cups, you are going to be feeling it. It isn't necessarily easy, but I do potentially see some breakthrough that it's going to be coming through. Sometimes it's a good thing to have these walls come down. Sometimes it's a good thing to start over. And it's going to kind of be a mental battle for you. You might have some regrets about the way things happen. You might feel sad. You might be dwelling a little bit by the end of April. Again, this is also kind of indicating to me, this could be an Aries or a Scorpio potentially that you're in communication with, that kind of was coming up with this Emperor earlier on too. But someone is feeling very disappointed. It actually could be this other person who is feeling this way. They're feeling very sad and regretful for how they treated you. And I think they're starting to realize with this Tower, they're having a Tower moment of their own. And it's funny, it goes from the Six of Cups to the Five of Cups. It's like they're reaching out, expecting, I think, to make amends with you. And it might, I don't think that peace for them is going to come that way, either because you're just not going to receive it, or it's not your job to forgive them. I think they're still dealing with a lot of transformation that needs to occur. We do have these outer planets again going retrograde in the last week of April, and I feel like you're going to be feeling it really strongly. We do have Capricorn showing up here, and we do have the Moon showing up here as well. This is your card, and I feel like there's some real big energy. I'm not really, I think it's just, honestly, I'm not even really sure what this is. With this Moon card, it seems like it's not meant to be totally known right now. It's going to become very clear by the end of the month, with Moon in reverse and with the Tower. It's just going to be a sudden realization. I think you're going to have a very big breakthrough, and it seems like it's going to be very freeing for you. And you're really going to be stepping back into your power. Very interesting. What is the animal wisdom? That was fast. Otter. This is something to celebrate. This is the happiest card in the deck. And, even though this energy is definitely heavy, it's like the end of a dark era, the end of a dark age for you. And even though it might hurt, it might be kind of rough and rocky this month, you do still seem to be managing it pretty well, to be honest. You're doing it as best as you can, and I see that you're really showing up for yourself. And I think by the end of the month, you're actually going to have something to celebrate. You're actually going to be feeling pretty joyful. You might, if you're still struggling with that, you might just need to go out, and that's like a weird thing. I'd almost never say that. Just go out and have fun. And just forget about your troubles, but that actually might be really beneficial. So, have a good time with lighthearted people. It's good things are coming from this, is what I'm seeing. I feel like this Tower was holding you back. This was more like a prison. And I see you becoming so free, Pisces. I'm actually very excited for you. And I think things could shift very quickly to the mid point and beyond of the April. It seems like there's just so much change and movement. Otter tells me there's a lot of movement too. Some of you may very well be physically moving. Those are all the messages that I'm getting for you right now, Pisces. I do hope that this was helpful. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what is happening. If you'd like to book a personal reading, I have all of my information in the description box. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, Pisces.